Hi, I'm Mr. New Jersey. Today we're going to talk about the traffic crisis in Leonia and what Leonia's government is doing about it. First, some basic facts about Leonia. Leonia is a borough of about 9,000 people, packed into just over 1.5 square miles. Leonia is located in Bergen County, and to understand Leonia, it's helpful to understand Bergen County. Bergen is the state's most populous county, home to almost 1 million people, and yet it has no major cities. Instead, Bergen County gets its large population from having dozens of densely populated small towns. Leonia is emblematic of this trend, a small town smack dab in the middle of one of NJ's densest regions. How did the region get so dense? Simple. It's directly across the Hudson River from New York City, so it got absolutely swamped by urban and suburban sprawl. Most importantly for purposes of this video, know that Leonia directly borders Fort Lee, which is home to the New Jersey half of the George Washington Bridge, the world's most trafficked motor vehicle bridge. According to data from the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, about 300,000 automobiles crossed the bridge each day in 2014. Given all this information, it's not hard to see why Leonia has traffic problems. The worst time for traffic is rush hour, when thousands of automobiles get packed up heading onto or off of the bridge, and many of them try to skirt the traffic by taking the local roads of nearby towns. On bad days, all of tiny Leonia can become absolutely paralyzed. So, what did the municipal government decide to do? Well, about a week ago, it went ahead and passed an ordinance banning people who don't live or work in the town from using many of its local roads during rush hour. I don't know when exactly the ordinance takes effect, but ultimately the idea is to issue tags for the cars of those who live and work in the town that will let police identify those who aren't supposed to be there. Signs will go up informing motorists of the ban, and violators can be fined $200. Specifically, the ban takes place from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning, and from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the evening, for a total of 9 hours per day. Now, there's talk of potential legal challenges to the ordinance on the grounds that municipalities aren't allowed to unilaterally decide who can use public roads, but it's not clear how those challenges would go, especially if the roads are paid for through local tax dollars. So, what are the arguments for and against this ban? On the one hand, it sounds like Leonia truly is paralyzed when traffic is at its worst, to the point where emergency vehicles may be unable to swiftly respond to problems, so there are substantive safety concerns involved, not to mention the general frustration that Leonia residents go through when they're stuck in abysmal traffic on a regular basis. On the other hand, this could open the floodgates for any municipality that wants to control access to its roads, which could be really bad. It might merely push the traffic problem into neighboring towns, and it might cause a lot of confusion and chaos around motorists who are about to enter Leonia, see the signs, and all of a sudden have to U-turn or otherwise detour to get out. Furthermore, I'm concerned about the impact this could have on local small businesses, especially restaurants, who could lose customers during peak hours. Now I want to tell you about my own experience in Leonia, because it is relevant to this subject, though thankfully it is not a story of being stuck in traffic. My mother and I went to Leonia earlier this year to attend a candidate forum with 3 of the 2017 Democratic primary candidates for governor, State Senator Ray Lesniak, Tenafly Borough Councilman Mark Zinna, and former firefighter Bill Brennan. I expected the forum to be like any number of other town halls I've attended, where there is about one question per topic and a wide range of policy areas covered, so you can imagine my surprise when somewhere between half and 2/3 of the questions dealt with traffic and the various infrastructure proposals that might help alleviate it. Traffic and infrastructure absolutely dominated the conversation, and it became clear to me that reducing traffic is the single most important political issue for this community, at least in terms of state and local politics. I want you to take away 2 things from this anecdote. First, traffic is not just some minor frustration for Leonians as it is for most of New Jersey. Traffic truly is a crisis in their community. Second, the ban is not something they passed on a whim. Traffic has been at the top of their priority list for a really long time, and I suppose that after a long time of difficulties they decided that extreme action had to be taken. So that's the scale of the crisis in Leonia. Personally, I don't think the ban is the right solution to Leonia's problems. I think the right solution is state and federal infrastructure projects, such as the Gateway program currently being undertaken by the states of New York and New Jersey. the main component of which is building new rail tunnels underneath the Hudson River. Hopefully, such projects will be able to split up the commuters currently concentrated at a few nodes like the George Washington Bridge into more manageable amounts across more locations. Admittedly, however, such projects are rare and expensive. The Gateway project, for example, will cost multiple billions of dollars between the two states and the federal government, and in order to pay for it, New Jersey transit fares will most likely be raised. It will also likely take many years to be completed. Thus, large infrastructure projects on the scale that might be necessary to help Leonia are easier said than done, and would generally have to be viewed as very long-term solutions as opposed to immediate alleviation of Leonia's traffic crisis. In any case, the problem is very complex and will require a lot of work to solve. So, what do you all think about Leonia's traffic crisis? Is the commuter ban a net positive or a net negative? And what other possibilities do you see to solve the problem? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I hope you found this video enjoyable and informative. If you did, please like and subscribe. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.